Babaguwa. you for joining us again on the News Hour on Biscon Television. I'm Stella Opera. Coming up in the news, federal government commissions 420 million naira erosion control project in Kogi community. Chief of Air Staff expresses concern over encroachment and reallocation of Air Force land in Kano. In business news, increase in navigational charges inevitable, says Farouk Nama MD. On the foreign scene, France estimates 150,000 Russian soldiers killed in Ukraine war, says Minister. And in the rather sport, patrons, mates unite behind Finidi George. Now the news in full. In its concerted bid to control erosion, the federal government on Thursday commissioned and handed over the 420 million naira Cotton Cafe erosion control project executed by the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPODEC, to Kogi State. While inaugurating the project, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, said the project was significant in view of the devastating effect of 2022 flood in the area when the Abuja-Lokoja highway was completely submerged. Senator Akume, who was represented by a director in the SGF office, Simon Chugu, pointed out that the people of Cotton Cafe and Nigerians flying Lokoja-Abuja highway suffered in no small measures during the flooding. The SGF commended HYPODEC for the award of the contract for the erosion control and channelization project to protect the lives and property of the people of the community and its environs. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo, who was represented by his deputy Joel Oyibo Salifo, expressed gratitude to the federal government for quick response over the devastating effect of 2022 floods in which the state was badly affected. Now, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, has expressed concern over the encroachment and reallocation of land belonging to Air Force in Kano State. Abubakar, who disclosed this during a capsule visit to Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf on Thursday, appealed to him to restore the reallocated land, which was dedicated for its future expansion. He further quoted the governor's support in connecting the Kano State water facility to the Air Force base in the state. He lauded the state government for its huge support towards the strengthening of the operations of the Air Force in the state. He also noted that the joint operations with sister security agencies on internal security in the state has yielded tremendous successes, which had resulted in maintaining peace and stability in the state. The governor sought for a special consideration for Kano indigents during the recruitment exercise of the force, given the large percentage of youth population in the state. The governor equally requested for the establishment of Air Force Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Kano to complement the existing Boys Comprehensive Secondary School, which is located in Kwa in Dawakin, Tofa town. Now, Kebbi State Branch Chairman of National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, NAM, Comrade Kelani Abdul Waliyu, has commended Kebbi State government for agreeing to close remuneration discrepancies between nurses in the state and those in tertiary health facilities in Kebbi State. Waliyu stated this while speaking with newsmen in Burning Kebbi. He noted that part of the efforts to reposition health sector in Kebbi began with the payment of backlog of students, nurses, and automatic employment for nurses and midwives in the state to encourage them to pay attention to their studies. The union leaders said over the years, trained and experienced nurses and midwives have left the state service for greener pastures, creating inadequate manpower in the health sector. He appealed to the governor to fully implement the nurses' salary structure approved nationally, expansion of hospitals which is ongoing, life insurance cover due to the hazards nurses and midwives face as they discharge their official duties. Waliyu commended the national headquarters of the association for their moral support and encouragement, and urged nurses and midwives to remain steadfast and dedicated to their duties of saving lives and for care for the patients. You're watching Biscon Television News. Coming up next is business news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to business news. At an aviation stakeholders meeting recently convened by the Nigerian National Aviation Authority (NCAA), the managing director of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency (NAMA), Umar Farouk, raised the issue of increasing navigational charges with Airline Operators of Nigeria (AON), revealing that since 2008, these charges have remained at 11,000 naira, when the cost of flight tickets was 16,000 naira. He argued that since 2008, airlines have reviewed the cost of tickets several times, while the cost of the services rendered by NAMA has remained the same. He now says NAMA will have to review its charges to match the current economic situation, and airlines have to accept the reality. According to him, before his appointment, the morale of workers was low and service delivery was also a challenge, but they had to find a way to address the two simultaneously. He further revealed that they had to look into workers' welfare first, because it is only in a conducive environment that productivity would be high and workers would perform the best. You're watching Biscon Television News. Up next is foreign news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to foreign news. France estimates that 150,000 Russian soldiers have been killed during Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, Foreign Minister Stefan Seyuny said in an interview published on Friday. Speaking to Russian independent newspaper Novaya Gazeta Europe, Seyuny said Paris estimated total Russian casualties, including wounded, at 500,000 in the war, now in its third year. Russia has not disclosed information on its casualties. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in February that 180,000 Russian troops had been killed in the war. Britain estimates that approximately 450,000 Russians have been killed or wounded in Ukraine. The BBC reported in April that more than 50,000 Russian military personnel have died, citing its own reporters, independent media group Media Zona, and volunteers. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a special military operation at dawn on February 24, 2022, which has since turned into a bloody attrition war, isolating Russia from the West. Some military analysts believe that Russia could be on the verge of launching a major new offensive in Ukraine. Speaking about frozen Russian assets in the European Union, Seyuny reaffirmed that the funds could be used to fund the defense of Ukraine against the invasion, but did not give specifics. You're watching Biscon Television News. Still to come is sports news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to the world of sports. As countdown towards next month's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin Republic get underway, football stakeholders continue to chart the way forward for the newly employed Super Eagles head coach, Finidi George. The Super Eagles are third place in Group C with just 2 points from 2 games, following drawn games at home to Lesotho and Zimbabwe, behind Rwanda and South Africa. The Eagles must secure maximum points in both games in George's first acid test as coach. Former Super Eagles winger Dimeji Lawal has cancelled Finidi to hit the ground running in the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers to stamp his imprint in charge of the team. Lawal, who was in the Golden Eaglet squad to the Canada 1987 FIFA Under-17 World Cup and the FIFA Under-20 World Cup 2 years later in Saudi Arabia, said he was delighted that Finidi was named as the substantive head coach of the Super Eagles. He enjoined Finidi to run an open-door policy in which all shades of opinions welcomed from the other members of the technical team for the good of the team. And that's the news for now on Biscon Television, compiled and produced by Sarah Abiodun. Now the last line. Roy T. Bennett said, "Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world." I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for watching.
Hello and welcome to the Super Review today. I'm Adebisi Elebinde and today I'm here with Sarah Abiodun, and together we'll be reviewing major headlines from some of the newspapers, and I'll begin with the Vanguard. I'll start with the first headline. NDIC raises deposit insurance coverage by 900%. NSA orders enforcement of cybercrime law. Obaseki accepts Vanguard award, gives reason for Edo Best Initiative. Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Federal government allegation divisive, distracting. Obi. Minimum wage. Governors working on what is payable. NGF says 37-member tripartite committee still consulting. Assures of looking into remuneration of state judicial officers. Infrastructure of courts. Labour justifies 615,000 wage demand. Gives breakdown. Counter government on May 1 commencement date for new minimum wage. Press freedom crucial to democracy, good governance, NGE. Resident doctors protest shortage of manpower. Others in Kogi. Petrol scarcity. Long queues linger despite federal government's assurance. Okwama. Court adjourns till June 4 for hearing. IPOB declares sit at home May 30 to honor Biafra heroes. And Owila Kempa says war does not benefit workers and masses. It is mainly workers and the people that die in wars. These wars are therefore not for the protection of the people of the world and neither in our interests. And lastly, we have Lukman battles Roma's Bala, 4 others for Syria for POTM award. And that's the final story for the Vanguard.
Now the Punch. 615,000 naira pay. Governors demand sustainable minimum wage. That's on page 2. Government borrows 11 trillion naira via bonds, T-bills in 4 months. EFCC to move against schools charging dollars. You can read that on page 2. Federal government warns saboteurs as power generation rises to 4,800 MW. That's on page 22. Fuel supply. 9,000 marketers may lose licenses. Ipman begs NMDPRA, NMPC, not to delist operators from sales portal to avert fuel crisis. Hughes persists as more filling stations open for sale. Pump price drops marginally. You can read all of that story on page 21. Police stumble on drug den after Lagos market fracas. That's on page 5. And on the bridge apartments, ejected tenants may face prosecution. You can read all of that on page 4 and 5. London sword attack. Federal government condemns Nigerian British boy's mother. You can read that on page 15. And lastly, for the punch, we have police allay fears as IPOB declares May 30 seat at home. That's on page 20.
The New Telegraph. Federal government paid $500 million to terminate Ajaokuta steel contract. Naira sustains decline, crashes to 1,402.67 naira per dollar on official market. Economy will witness positive changes after sacrifices, Shetima says Tinubu taking wise decision to save Nigeria. Custom resolved 31 related trade disputes in 3 years, launches advanced billing system. NDIC. Failed bank depositors insurance claims increased to 5 million naira. MFB, PMB, PSB customers to receive 2 million naira. Alleged naira abuse. Governor Chief Priest opts for out-of-court settlement. Governors disagree with federal government on new minimum wage, says consultations still ongoing. Our demand for 615,000 naira based on current basic cost of living, NLC. Press freedom crucial to democracy, good governance, NGE. Urges NAS to initiate law against abusive strategic lawsuits. How violence continues to strangle Nigerian women's political dreams and ambitions. Cost of preparing diet soared by 4.7% in March, and that's according to NBS. Now to Kaduna State, Kaduna bombing. Military to court-martial 2 personnel. Defeat of terrorists, other non-state actors non-negotiable, DHQ. Say 715 insurgents killed, 23,971 weapons, ammunition recovered in April. ACF meets Northern governors over insecurity. Others. Police arrest mastermind of Abuja Kaduna train attack. Says suspect partook in Greenfield Varsity students' abduction in 2021. And lastly, for the New Telegraph, cell phone linked to nearsightedness, and that's according to study.
And now, moving on to the nation. New threats to Olubadan as kingmakers Lagos disagree. Military keeps Olakunle in waiting. That's on page 29. Police parade mastermind of Kaduna Abuja train attack, page 5. Binance chief's money laundering trial stopped. That's on page 6. Army moves against ambush killing of troops. Lagos accounts for 20% of Nigeria's GDP, page 7. 50 held over Lagos market fracas. That's on page 29. The states will pay only sustainable minimum wage, says governors. Subnationals to adopt justice sector summit resolutions. We're reviewing our individual fiscal space and the consequential impact of various recommendations to arrive at an improved minimum wage we can pay sustainably. Petrol scarcity persists in cities. Marketers sell at cut-throat prices. NMDPRA fails to regulate retailers. And lastly, we have NGE seeks repeal of anti-press freedom laws. That's on page 5. And EFCC Governor Chief Priest in near settlement. You can read that on page 29.
Nigerian Tribune. Police parade mastermind of Kaduna Abuja train attack. 276 other suspects. Arrest over 50 suspects as hoodlums clash. Raid markets, stalls in Lagos. Olubadan. New twist in installation of Olakunle as Ladoja. Other kingmakers differ on terms of settlement. NDIC increases maximum deposit insurance coverage for banks to 5 million naira. Governors agreed to roll out implementable national minimum wage. To consider recommendations on 2024 to 2028 revised national policy on justice. Ajaokuta. Nigeria imports $8 billion steel yearly, Minister. Naira abuse. Governor Chief Priest EFCC explore out-of-court settlement. Evicted quarters under Osborne Bridge recount experiences. Lagos. GDP hits 41 trillion naira, ranks 7th in Africa. Commissioner. And lastly, university admission. No decision yet on 18 years entry age. Senate says Education Minister expressed personal opinion.
And lastly, here with me is the Guardian. Nigeria